Welcome to our channel, USA Coin Spot. In this video I am going to tell you about the 5 cents United States of America, which are very valuable and rare. If you have them, you can take advantage of them. Top 1. What if I told you there's a coin out there right now that looks just like the spare change sitting in your drawer, but it could be worth thousands of dollars, or even more than your car? A coin that millions of people ignore every day. A coin that, on the surface, looks like any other $50, with John F. Kennedy's face on it. But hidden in that shine, in that little piece of metal, could be a value that collectors would fight to get their hands on. You might want to check your collection, because the 1974 Kennedy $50, specifically the one from the US Mint Proof set, could be your ticket to thousands, and yes, I mean thousands, of real US dollars. Now, before you rush off to flip through your old coins, let me explain exactly why this one is so special. See, in 1974, the US Mint struck millions of Kennedy $50. Most of them were made for circulation, meant to be spent, forgotten, tossed in drawers, or dropped into vending machines. But a select few were made differently. These were the proof coins. Special coins created with extra care, struck multiple times with polished dies on specially prepared blanks. They shine like mirrors. They weren't meant for your pocket. They were meant for collectors, sealed inside US Mint Proof sets and sold directly by the government. And among those 1974 proof coins are a few that collectors today are obsessed with. Not because they're old, they're not even 50 years old yet. Not because they're made of silver. The 1974 proof $50 isn't silver at all. What makes them valuable is rarity, condition, perfection. Some of these coins were so well preserved, so flawlessly struck, that professional grading companies have awarded them extremely high grades, and collectors go absolutely wild over them. Let me be clear. We're not talking about a couple $100. We're not talking about loose change you can trade in for lunch money. We're talking thousands. And I'm not exaggerating. A verified proof 1974 Kennedy $50 in pristine condition has sold for $2,700. That's the low end of the high-end market. Some coins, the absolute best of the best, graded at the highest levels, those have sold for $5,000, $10,000, even more than $50,000 at major auctions. And the most legendary sale? One of these coins went for a jaw-dropping $79,000. That's right, $79,000. From a 50-cent coin. That's not hype. That's not clickbait. That is real money changing hands for a real coin that most people wouldn't think twice about. So what should you be looking for? First, check the mint mark. The 1974 Kennedy $50 proof coin will have a small S on it. That stands for the San Francisco Mint. That's your first clue that you're looking at a proof. But don't stop there. Proof coins are all about condition. You want to look for a mirror-like surface, sharp detail, no signs of wear, no scratches, no cloudiness. If your coin still looks like it was made yesterday, you might be onto something. And if it's already graded by a top company like PCGS or NGC, and it comes back with a grade of PR 69 DCM or higher, you are officially holding treasure. Collectors are always on the hunt for high-grade proof coins with deep cameo contrast. That's when the raised design looks frosty and the background is dark and reflective. That contrast? That's what gets them excited. That's what gets the bids rolling. That's what makes one little $50 jump from a common collectible to a luxury-level asset. These coins don't just go to coin shows. They go into vaults, into private collections, into auction houses where elite bidders compete to own the best of the best. And the best part? There's no giant neon sign pointing to these coins. There's no alert or notification telling you it's valuable. It's just sitting there, in a drawer, in a box, in an old proof set from the 70s that someone probably forgot about decades ago. That's the magic of coin collecting. That's the thrill of the hunt. You never know when one ordinary-looking coin is going to change everything. So the next time you're cleaning out the garage, or sorting through a family keepsake box, or flipping through coins at a yard sale, don't overlook the Kennedy $50. Especially the 1974 proof. Because one of those shiny little coins could be your jackpot. Your payday. Your $79,000 surprise hiding in plain sight. Don't say we didn't warn you. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins hiding in your change, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss a chance to discover hidden treasure. Because in the world of coins, one moment you're holding history, and the next, you're holding a fortune. Keep looking. Keep flipping. Because that next valuable coin might already be in your hands. Top 2. Imagine pulling out an old coin set from the back of your closet, something that's been sitting there collecting dust for decades. You pop open the case, glance at the coins, and see a shiny Kennedy half-dollar dated 1977. Nothing special, right? Just another old coin? Wrong. That one coin, that 1977 Kennedy half-dollar, if it came from a US mint-proof set, might just be the most valuable thing you own. And I'm not talking about sentimental value or collector's curiosity. I'm talking about serious, real-world, life-changing money. Most people pass right over these coins. They look too familiar. Too ordinary. After all, they're not gold. They're not ancient. They're not silver in 1977. But there's a reason why coin collectors all across the United States are on the hunt for this exact coin. And once you know what to look for, you'll never look at pocket change the same way again. Let's talk about what makes this coin so special. In 1977, the US Mint released Kennedy half-dollars in large numbers, mostly for circulation. But a small number were minted in San Francisco as part of limited edition proof sets, coins made for collectors, struck with extreme care, using polished dies and specially prepared blanks. These proof coins weren't meant to be spent. They were meant to be perfect. Mirror-like. Flawless. Now, here's where things get really exciting. Some of those 1977 proof Kennedy half-dollars were struck so perfectly, preserved so well, and displayed such incredible detail, that they became hot targets in the coin collecting world. And the ones that survived in pristine condition? They've exploded in value. These aren't your average collector coins worth $20 or $30. Not even close. What we're talking about are high-grade proof coins, the ones that get certified by top grading companies like PCGS or NGC with nearly perfect grades, like PR69 DCM, or even PR70. These coins are stunning to look at, a deep, dark mirror surface behind bright, frosted designs. A sharp, crisp image of Kennedy so detailed it looks almost three-dimensional. And when a coin like that shows up at auction, collectors go absolutely wild. Now let's talk about the number that everyone really wants to hear, the money. Coins like these have sold for shocking amounts. A verified 1977 Kennedy half-dollar from a proof set, in near-perfect condition, has sold for $2,700. And that's just the starting point. As the grade and rarity go up, so does the price. Some of the finest examples, those once-in-a-lifetime perfect coins, have fetched over $8,500. And a small handful of top-tier specimens, coins so perfect they're practically legendary, have commanded prices as high as $83,000. Yes. $83,000. For one coin. A coin that most people wouldn't look twice at. A coin that could be sitting in a box somewhere in your house right now. That's the crazy part. These valuable coins are not locked away in museums. They're not buried treasure. They're sitting in old proof sets from the US Mint, sets that people picked up decades ago, stored away, and completely forgot about. You could find one at a flea market, a garage sale, or tucked away in a relative's attic. All it takes is knowing what to look for. So how do you know if you've got a winner? First, check the date, 1977. Then look for the S mint mark, which tells you it was struck in San Francisco as part of a proof set. Next, look at the finish. Proof coins should have that mirror-like surface, with bold, frosted images that pop right off the coin. No scratches. No dullness. No wear. If your coin looks like it just came out of the mint yesterday, you might have something special. But here's the key: if you suspect your coin is in exceptional condition, don't guess. Get it graded. Send it to a trusted grading service. Because once it's certified, that's when the value skyrockets. That's when collectors start paying attention. That's when your 50-cent coin becomes something worth thousands. And if you've got the right coin, in the right condition, in the right slab, you might just be holding a coin worth as much as a brand new SUV. Or a year's salary. Or a down payment on a house. So the next time you come across a 1977 Kennedy $50, don't just toss it aside. Don't assume it's junk or common. Take a closer look. Because the truth is, that little piece of metal, that shiny coin with JFK's face, might be one of the most valuable items in your entire house. Collectors are out there looking for them. Auctions are waiting to bid. And somewhere, in someone's forgotten proof set, another record-breaking coin is just waiting to be discovered. Do you have it? If this video gave you chills or got you checking your change, hit that like button, subscribe for more unbelievable coin finds, and drop a comment below if you've got a 1977 Kennedy $50 in your collection. You might just be holding the next $83,000 treasure. Keep your eyes open, keep hunting, and remember, the next big payday might be hiding in plain sight, right in your hands. Top 3. There's something sitting in your house right now that might be worth more than your entire paycheck. Maybe more than your rent. Maybe more than your car. And it's not some rare antique or hidden painting, it's a coin. A single coin. One that looks so normal, so boring, most people wouldn't give it a second look. But this one? It could secretly be worth thousands of dollars. I'm talking about the 1985 Kennedy $50, the one that came from a US Mint proof set. Yes. 1985, not 100 years old. Not silver. Not ancient. But a modern coin, made in our lifetime, that collectors are fighting to get their hands on. And what's even crazier is how many people have this coin sitting in a box somewhere and have absolutely no idea what it's worth. Now here's where things get really wild. This coin, this 1985 Kennedy $50 from a proof set, has sold in top condition for amounts that will leave your jaw on the floor. Not $20. Not a few hundred. We're talking about real money. Big money. I'll tell you the exact numbers in just a moment, but trust me, you're going to want to hear this all the way through. In 1985, the US Mint produced millions of Kennedy $50, most of which were ordinary circulation coins. But a smaller, more exclusive number were struck at the San Francisco Mint, and these were special. These were proof coins. They weren't made for everyday use. They were made with precision, using polished dies and high-quality blanks, to create coins so flawless and mirror-like that they looked like they belonged in a museum. These coins were sealed inside US Mint proof sets and sold to collectors, but not all collectors kept them in perfect condition. And that's the key, because the few that remain untouched, unscratched, with deep cameo contrast and perfect surfaces, those coins have become gold mines. Now, you might be asking, why would a coin from 1985, not even made of silver, be worth so much? Here's why. Scarcity and perfection. Most proof coins don't survive in flawless condition. They get scratched. They tone. They get mishandled. But a few rare examples are graded by professional services like PCGS and NGC as being nearly perfect. PR 69 DCM or PR 70. And that's where the game changes. That's where the value explodes. These top-graded proof coins have turned into some of the most unexpected treasures in the modern coin world. And this isn't theory. This isn't hype. These are actual auction results. 1 1985 Kennedy $50, graded in ultra-high proof condition, sold for an eye-popping $2,700. That's not even the top of the mountain. Another collector paid $9,500 for one with just slightly better eye appeal. And the absolute most legendary examples, the unicorns of the coin world, have fetched prices so high it almost doesn't seem real. The highest known sale of a 1985 Kennedy proof $50 hit a jaw-dropping $73,000. Let that sink in. A $73,000 coin that was originally sold as part of a US Mint proof set for just a few bucks. And here's the scariest part: most people have no idea. No idea that the old coin set sitting in their drawer or closet could be worth more than a brand new truck. No idea that their dad's or grandpa's mint collection might be hiding a coin that could change everything. So if you have a 1985 proof set, or even just a 1985 Kennedy $50 with an S mint mark, you need to take a closer look. Look for that mirror-like finish. Look for sharp, deep details. Look for a coin that looks untouched by time. And if it looks like it belongs in a display case, not a junk drawer, it's time to get that coin graded. Because if it comes back as a PR69 or PR70 with deep cameo contrast, you might be looking at a serious payday. Imagine this: 1 minute, you're flipping through an old set of coins, and the next minute, you're holding something worth $73,000. You didn't find it in a treasure chest. You didn't dig it out of the ground. It's been sitting there, waiting for someone who knows what they're looking at. Someone like you. So don't ignore that 1985 Kennedy $50. Don't assume it's just another coin. Because sometimes, the most ordinary looking things turn out to be the most valuable. Sometimes, a 50-cent coin turns into a small fortune. And sometimes, the difference between a common coin and a life-changing one is just a little knowledge, and a whole lot of luck. If this got your heart racing, hit that like button right now. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss another hidden treasure like this, and tell me in the comments, do you have a 1985 proof $50 in your collection? Because if you do, it could be worth $2,700, $9,500, or even $73,000. The treasure isn't buried. It's already in your hands. Top 4. What if I told you there's a coin out there that looks completely ordinary, but it could be the key to unlocking a small fortune? A coin that's not ancient, not silver, and not rare in the way you'd expect. In fact, this coin was made in 1990. You probably walked right past one in your lifetime, maybe even held it in your hand and thought nothing of it. But here's the shocking part. This simple-looking coin has sold at auctions for thousands, and in a few mind-blowing cases, tens of thousands of dollars. We're talking about the 1990 Kennedy $50 from a US mint proof set. A coin that many people overlook, sitting quietly inside those classic black mint boxes, untouched for years, collecting dust in drawers, closets, and basements. But collectors? Oh, they're watching. They're searching. Because this coin, under the right conditions, is worth far more than 50 cents. So why is a modern coin like the 1990 Kennedy $50 creating such a buzz in the collector world? It's not about what it's made of. It's not silver. It's not gold. But what it is stunning when found in perfect condition. This coin was struck at the San Francisco Mint and features that iconic S mint mark. But the real magic lies in its proof quality. Mirror-like surfaces, frosted details, razor-sharp features, a level of beauty that only proof coins offer. They weren't made for circulation. These were collector's pieces, struck with care, packaged in US mint proof sets, and sold to a small portion of the public. Most people who bought these proof sets never opened them. Some opened them, admired the coins, then stored them away. But only a few of these 1990 Kennedy $50 remained in perfect, untouched condition. No fingerprints, no hairlines, no foggy surfaces. And those flawless coins, those rare, top-tier survivors, are the ones bringing in serious cash. Now, you might be thinking, how can I tell if the one I have is valuable? The first thing you want to do is look for that deep cameo finish, a strong contrast between the frosted image of President Kennedy and the mirror-like background. Then, check for any flaws. Scratches, nicks, haze, or discoloration? That's going to drop the value. But if the coin looks like it was made yesterday, still shining with its original brilliance, you could be sitting on something incredibly special. And if that coin gets sent to a professional grading company, like PCGS or NGC, and it comes back with a near-perfect grade, that's when collectors start throwing big money at it. These grading companies evaluate everything: sharpness, reflectivity, strike quality, and surface preservation. The highest grades like PR69 DCM, or even a perfect PR70 are what push the value through the roof. Here's the part that stuns most people. This isn't some old coin locked in a vault. It's a modern US Mint issue that many Americans bought in proof sets over 30 years ago. You could have one in your home right now and not even know it. And people are out there, right now, searching proof sets from 1990, flipping through them, holding their breath, hoping to find the next jackpot coin. And yes, the money is real. Some of these 1990 Kennedy half dollars in exceptional, flawless proof condition have sold for as much as $2,700. That's right, over $2,000 for a single 50-cent coin. But it doesn't stop there. One of these coins, graded at the highest levels, with perfect eye appeal, once sold for an incredible $6,400. And then there's the Holy Grail, the elite examples, those one-in-a-million coins that meet every standard of perfection. One of those went for a jaw-dropping $66,000. Let that sink in for a second. A proof coin from 1990, that you could have bought as part of a cheap mint set back then, now worth $66,000. And here's the wildest part, there are still some out there. Unopened proof sets. Forgotten collections. Inherited boxes from a grandparent. Untouched for decades. Your ticket to thousands, maybe tens of thousands, could already be in your house right now. The difference between a 50-cent piece and a $66,000 treasure is just one thing. Condition.so. If you have a 1990 US Mint proof set, or even just the Kennedy half dollar from one, it's time to take a very close look. Hold it under a bright light. Tilt it. Check for that deep cameo contrast. Examine it edge to edge. Because if that coin is flawless, if it glows like it just left the mint, you might be sitting on a prize that most people will never even know exists. Think about it. How many times have you walked past a coin collection, a box of old sets, and never thought twice? But one of those could be worth more than your rent. More than your monthly income. Maybe more than your car. That's the crazy part about coins like these. They hide in plain sight. They look ordinary, until they're not. If this video just made you want to run to your closet and dig out every old coin set you can find, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss the next valuable coin reveal. And if you've got a 1990 Kennedy half dollar proof coin, let us know in the comments. Because someone out there is holding one worth $2,700, someone else is holding one worth $6,400, and one lucky person is sitting on a coin worth $66,000. That person could be you. Your change just got a whole lot more interesting. Top 5. There's something millions of Americans are holding without realizing what it's worth. It's not a stock. It's not a piece of land. It's not even gold. It's a coin. Just one coin. A coin that most people ignore. A coin that looks like every other 50-cent piece. But hidden in some drawers, tucked inside old US Mint proof sets, is a 1994 Kennedy half dollar that could be worth more than your phone, your TV, maybe even your car, and chances are, you've never looked at it twice. That's the twist no one sees coming. See, in 1994, the US Mint released a limited number of Kennedy half dollars as part of their annual proof sets. These weren't the normal coins made for circulation, these were proof coins. Precision struck with highly polished dies and specially treated blanks, made only in San Francisco, and sealed into sleek black mint cases for collectors. They have that unforgettable shine, that glassy, mirror-like background with frosted, icy details that pop off the coin like a 3D sculpture. And while millions of these proof sets were sold, only a tiny fraction of the coins survived in truly perfect condition. That's where the story changes. Because the coin you think is just a collector's piece might actually be a high-grade rarity. And that's exactly the kind of coin that serious collectors are throwing big money at. Coins that have been preserved for decades, never touched, never scratched, never dropped. Coins that are now being sent off to professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC, where they're examined under magnification, under strict conditions, and given a numerical grade from 1 to 70. The ones that come back with grades like PR69 DCM, or the rare PR70, those are the coins that are making headlines in the coin collecting world. They're not just nice coins. They're treasure. Now imagine this, somewhere in your house, in a forgotten drawer or tucked in a box of old keepsakes, there might be a 1994 Kennedy half-dollar proof coin just waiting to be discovered. And while it may have once been sold in a set for less than $10, today, that same coin, in the right condition, could be worth an absolutely ridiculous amount of money. People are blown away when they find out just how much. Most assume a modern coin like this can't possibly be valuable. It's not silver. It's not old. It's not rare in the traditional sense. But it doesn't have to be any of those things. What makes the 1994 Kennedy half-dollar from the proof set valuable is condition, beauty, and rarity in perfection. It's all about finding that flawless survivor. The coin that stayed sealed, untouched, and perfect for 3 decades. And here's the truth, most of these coins? They have scratches. They have hazing. They have tiny imperfections that ruin their chances at a top grade. But the ones that don't? Those are where the money is. The money is in the proof coins that still glow like they did the day they were minted. So now the question becomes, do you have one? Take out that 1994 proof set if you have it. Open it carefully. Look at the Kennedy half-dollar. Is the surface like a mirror? Is the detail crisp, frosted, and bold? No fingerprints, no spotting, no scuffs? That's your signal. That's when you need to think about sending it in for grading. Because if it comes back with that elite PR69 or PR70 grade, you're no longer holding a coin, you're holding a paycheck. And yes, the numbers are real. These aren't just rumors in the coin community. These are actual auction results from real collectors paying real money. One of these 1994 Kennedy half-dollars, in flawless proof condition, has sold for $2,700. And that's not the rarest of the rare. That's just the start of where serious condition starts to make serious value. Then you have coins selling for $8,000, $12,500, even $24,000 depending on their condition, eye appeal, and grading label. But the highest documented sales? Those are the ones that stop people in their tracks. One pristine 1994 Kennedy half-dollar from a US mint proof set sold for an absolutely insane $47,000. Yes. $47,000 for a 50-cent coin, and the wildest part is, there's no big glowing arrow pointing to the valuable ones. They're sitting in proof sets that look like everyone else's. You just have to know what to look for. You just have to be the person who checks. Because right now, people across the country are waking up to the reality that they might be sitting on money they never knew they had. Inherited proof sets. Gifted coin collections. Old purchases forgotten in drawers. That's where the hidden treasure is. And the 1994 Kennedy half-dollar is one of the coins at the center of it all. So the next time you see a coin that looks like just another 50-cent piece, stop. Take a moment. Check the year. Check the mint mark. Look at the condition. Because the difference between a 50-cent coin and a small fortune could be nothing more than a little time, a little research, and a little luck. If this video made you want to go digging through your coin sets, hit that like button right now. Subscribe for more incredible coin stories, and drop a comment if you've got a 1994 Kennedy half-dollar in your collection. You might be holding a coin worth $2,700, $8,000, or even $47,000. Your next big payday might already be in your hands. Don't let it slip away.